Hello, my name is Alan. I am opening a bag of rice crackers, or crisps as they have on the bag. Now, what I want to talk about is the complete and utter BS that Gottheimer and the ADL are trying to foist upon Krystal Ball and Joe Rogan following an interview they had. ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, they have a role to play. We do need protection in certain situations. So yes, there is definitely a need, but in this particular case, they're wrong. Josh Gottheimer tweeted out, and if you don't know who Josh Gottheimer is, he's a Democratic representative from, I think it's New Jersey. And he tries to proclaim Joe Rogan and Krystal Ball as promoting blatant anti-Semitic tropes. I cannot talk this morning. But the truth is, they were clearing up the whole issues being talked about when it came to Ilhan Omar being removed from the Foreign Affairs Committee by Petty McCarthy. The new Speaker of the House. Now, let's get into what was actually talked about. They pointed out, Ilhan Omar was forced to apologize for saying it's all about the Benjamins. But they point out it was in specific reference to AIPAC using money to influence votes of politicians. You ever wonder why there is such bipartisan support in such a nation so divided? It's money. It is not played upon the anti-Semitic tropes that Jewish people control money. It is playing on the fact that politicians are corrupt for money. But because Joe and Krystal dare to bring this up and even clarify that they are not using it for anti-Semitic purposes. But for showing the greed of politicians instead. They get hammered by Mr. Gottheimer and the ADL. I think Mr. Gottheimer and the ADL need to apologize to Joe Rogan and Krystal Ball. Apologize, Mr. Gottheimer. It is the right thing to do. Mr. Salt, you proclaim, oh, it's something that only helps middle class people. It's a tax deduction that helps the middle class. The majority of it goes to the rich. You are both wrong, Gottheimer and the ADL. You need to apologize and say, in this instance, we were misguided. Our views were incorrect. But all they care about is sound bites. Screw off if you are unwilling to face the music. Because in this instance, Joe Rogan and Krystal Ball are completely right. Don't get me wrong, Joe Rogan's had reasons to be talked about, looked at, go, Joe, you're wrong. You're wrong on this. But in this instance, it's not one of those times. Apologize to Joe and Krystal. To Joe and the full Breaking Points crew, Krystal and Sauger. I can't believe this has to be said. Quit playing the semantics game. The bullshit fucking, oh, they're saying evil stuff game. You might as well not be able to speak about Israel, period, if this is going to be the way things are seen. They tried to take the BDS movement down to the water and drown it. And, you know, they like, oh, you said something that's anti-Semitic because it actually goes against Israel, but we consider it both anti-Semitic and anti-Israel. Oh! Oh! Screw off! Get your big girl panties on, Gottheimer, and say, I am sorry, I was talking bullshit. Clearly, Rogan and Ball are actually correct and proper in the subject they talk about. You know, I'm one of the biggest backers of pushing against forms of hate, such as anti-Semitism, such as modern day or Jim Crow era racism. But I think it is important to know our history, to know the truth of what goes on. But there's a lot of people who don't. They don't like inconvenient nuggets of fact, inconvenient parcels of truth. Gottheimer and the ADL need to apologize, as well as the networks that, help promote this BS, like CNN and Fox News and MSNBC, all the corporate pieces of crap. To be fair, I think it's because they know Breaking Points does a far better job than any of them. All need to publicly apologize. I'm not going to say any more because I shouldn't have to. Anyway, I'm going to put links in the description below. As always, educate thyself, think, read, study, learn. They try to tell you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll see you all in the next video. Until then.